What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, guys, I just wanted to do a fun video, right? This is not a full review. This is just more of a, let's just talk a little bit about some fun blades, some cool blades, some blades that you might need in a crap hits the fan situation or a zombie apocalypse or, whatever the situation may be, right? We're going to get a little wild today, right? We're going to talk about, what ifs, right? Some are going to be fun, some are going to be serious, but some of it you can apply actually to real world scenarios. So it's things that just kind of think about. A lot of the times, I once did a presentation on how to survive the zombie apocalypse, and it was for a class where I was learning to become like a trainer, and it was like doing a presentation. And at the end of it, they're like, "Well, why would you do a topic like that?" And I was like, "Well, if you can prepare to survive the zombie apocalypse, you can be prepared for anything. You can be prepared for natural disasters, civil riots, uprisings, whatever. If you're prepared for the zombie apocalypse, you're probably prepared for some of that stuff." So that's how I kind of equated it, tied it together. It just made it a fun way to be kind of prepared, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But I'm by no means an expert in survival. I'm by no means an expert in urban survival or any of that type of stuff. I've picked up a lot of little things here and there from various different people. Some of the stuff is just kind of common sense things to me, but we're not going to go full depth. But what I really kind of wanted to talk about here in this video is some of the what I would consider fun knives or fun tools to possibly have in the event you're in a zombie apocalypse or something to that effect. And there's a myriad of blades on this table right now, guys. I got everything from like super big boys to some good medium-sized boys, and let's just get into it. Okay, so one thing, I guess, if you were having to take off and this horde of undead things is coming at you, in my mind, I would think that I want some reach. Now, we're just gonna eliminate the Second Amendment aspect out of this, right? Let's just say that all the ammo's been wasted. There's no more to be found. You're still surviving somehow, and now all we have are edged and blunt force tools. Okay, let's just go that route with this. Okay, so I personally would want to carry something around that's going to give me a little bit of distance to fend off somebody or something, right? Something undead, and this is our term, guys. This is the undead zombies. Okay, YouTube doesn't like the other terms that we might use for self-preservation, if you get what I'm saying. So first off, like, what would be a good option here, guys? So let's look at some stuff, right? So check this out. This right here is the Ghost XL from North Edge Tools. So this is kind of like a little mini machete in a way, right? It's got enough thickness on it that it's a little bit more than a machete. It's got a little bit of flex and stuff to it, but it's still pretty rigid. This is a 80 CRV2. Very, very cool blade. North Edge Tools, Dustin North over there did a fantastic job making this. But guys, this thing is super light. Like, it's going to give you that distance to be able to reach out and poke that zombie. You're going to be able to hack through the bushes to clear a trail to get to your next safety point. It's just really light, though. I think that's the key factor in this is it's light, but it's still pretty damn strong, because I got a video review where I beat on some wood with this. I baton with it. It held up fantastic, but it's going to give you enough to get in there and do what you got to do. So this could be a good option, especially if you think about it. If you're having to move and survive, right? Weight's an important issue. A lot of people don't think about that. Well, I'm going to carry this whatever, this 30-pound sword or whatever. Weight's an issue. Okay, you're carrying whatever clothes you need. You're carrying medical supplies. You're carrying food. If you still have a Second Amendment tool, ammo is ridiculously heavy, guys. Like, you get in the larger caliber, you ain't gonna be running around with 1,000 rounds of something, because it's just too much weight. Now factor in your edge tools that you need to build shelters and fires. You got to kind of think about these things, guys. You can't take everything. You got to be pretty selective on what you take and what's going to fit your needs. That's kind of one of those common sense things, I would say. But this is pretty damn light, and it's got a decent amount of reach to it. Something else that fits in that category really well is this Condor K-Knight machete here. Now this guy, again, it's long, a little bit longer than this Ghost XL. Just not by much, but a little bit. If you can see there. It's got a really nice shape. You can get two hands on this for some like harder power chopping. Again, it's a little bit flexible, but it's still thick enough that you can baton with it. I got, again, reviews on a lot of this stuff, guys, so go find those reviews on my channel. But man, this thing is quick, man. If you had to, like, again, reach out there, you know, hey, stay away from me, zombie, you know, get that, you know, get that zombie's, you know, give him a haircut, you know what I mean? This thing is very, very quick. It's really quick to recover from your, you know, your swings. You know, you can come and do like quick chops. Very, very light, but still yet super strong, and comes with a nice Kydex sheath. So I mean, that's another, I would say, good option. You know, if you want to start getting into some little bit larger, maybe heavier blades, and you're, you know, you got the physicality to be able to do that, the Tops Knives Kumakaje. I mean, guys, this thing is, it's literally a short sword. Like, check this bad boy out. I mean, it's what, a 1/4 inch thick. I mean, you can beat I've beat the crap out of this thing, man. I batoned giant seasoned almond logs with this, and it held up perfectly fine. I mean, this thing is a beast, and you definitely get some power. If you had to go knock some doors down to find some supplies in an abandoned house, man, you could whack through this door with this for sure. I mean, this thing is going to be definitely have that extra power and oomph that you might be wanting. But again, on the back swings or the recoveries are going to be a little bit slower because it is a little bit heavier. So, you know, but it's just overall though, it is just a very, very fun tool to have. And if you're somebody who goes out and, let's say you're an overland or something like that, and you're going through an area with a lot of really kind of thick, heavy brush, man, this thing is awesome for clearing that stuff out because it's got that weight. It's not excessively heavy, but it's heavy enough to where it's going to get through those thicker branches a lot quicker than, say, a lighter machete would. So it's definitely something to consider, you know, as long as you have the ability to carry it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's overly heavy, but it's still got weight to it. And what do they say, like, was it ounces equal pounds, pounds equal weight, and weight equals pain, something like that. So, you know, something to bear in mind. So, you know, if you wanted to go into something else a little bit bigger and heavier, you got the Tops Knives Lilith. I mean, guys, look at this bad boy. Woo, this thing's nasty too. And again, this thing has definitely got some weight to it, but I would say it's kind of equivalent to the Kumakaje as far as weight goes. Let's bust this out real quick. I might stab myself. Actually, I would say the Lilith feels just a tad bit heavier. It feels a little bit more front heavy, and I think that's just due to this, you know, the way this tracker style blade is. Both of these have like a pronounced kind of hump, as you can see there, but you know, they're definitely getting a little bit more length with the Kumakaje. But man, they're both nasty tools, right? And the Lilith is no exception. I mean, you got this, you can hawk back and, I mean, just really get some whacks and pokes in. It's got a really acute tip, and again, just like anything with Tops Knives, man, they're tough as hell. You can beat the living tar fire out of them, and you know, they're going to hold up to the beatings. Again, I beat the crap out of this one as well, so definitely go check out that Lilith review. So, you know, again, like, we're getting into kind of larger stuff. Some people say, oh, you're crazy for carrying something that big. Yeah, okay, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, man, who knows. If you want to go, again, with something a little bit smaller, I would put this kind of almost in this Ghost XL and K-Knight Machete league, with the exception that this is, I would say, a heavier duty chopper, and that is the Storm Vector from Tops Knives. Now this is, guys, this thing, it is phenomenal when it comes to chopping, man, and this thing is tough as hell. I beat the crap out of this thing. I mean, this thing has got a nice acute tip, and look at it, it's still there even after I beat just beating hardened seasoned wood with this thing, batoning. You go check out the Dutch Bushcraft Brothers video on this, and those guys cut a pan in half with it, and it held up fine. Definitely not one to sleep on, guys. This has got a really good balance of being a little bit heavier duty than, like, say, the machete style stuff, but a little bit lighter than, like, say, these Lilith and Kumakaje, right? This is going to be a nice balance of in between. It's going to be light enough that you can carry it all day, but also have a lot of that strength and durability for those really hard-headed zombies. You know, you're get in there and get that zombie. You know, very, very good knife. Love this thing. I really think it's an under. I don't want to say it's an underrated chopper, but I feel like this is one that people don't maybe look at enough. And dude, this thing is fantastic. Definitely, you know, if I ran in and that was just the first thing I reached in and grabbed, and I didn't have a chance to look for anything else. I mean, I would be totally happy with that choice, right? You know, but let's jump into something a little bit funner and crazier too. I love this thing as well. This is the Puzon Predator Hunter from Work Tough Gear, designed by Dave Puzon. Guys, look at this bad boy. I mean, this is just a giant Bowie, man. This thing is, again, you can get in there and reach out there. So stay away from me. You can come in here and do a lot of heavy wood chopping with this thing. And come on, let's face it. It just looks badass. Like there's just a badass coolness factor to this blade that you just can't help. You know, I see Billy from Predator standing on that log, rips his shirt off, his little medicine bag. He's all, yeah, you know, and just like, this is what he would have been carrying in that movie if this was available. You know, this is what Schwarzenegger would have, you know, stick around. You know, this is straight up badassery. But it's got a really nice balance and weight to it too. It's a thick, tough, heavy knife, but it's not a ridiculously heavy knife either. So definitely a good choice, guys, with the Predator Hunter. If you're looking for just something that's just straight out badass cool. Here's one that's a little different. This one's kind of a custom, and if you reached out, I'm sure he'd make another one for you guys. But John over at JS Knife Works made this design for me. This is kind of my design. We tinkered around with it a little bit. He changed a few things here and there, but basically this is what I like to call a Reaper's Razor. And again, we're getting into that giant kind of Bowie style blade. Like, again, this is something that, you know, those guys in the Predator would have been running around carrying. But definitely a heavy duty blade, guys. This thing is 80 CRV2. I believe this one's 80 CRV2. This definitely is a kind of a front heavy blade, so it's definitely got some good chopping power to it. You got a nice flare on here on the back so your hand doesn't slip out. I mean, the big wide blade, right? It's like, got these cool little kind of gut hook wire breakers built onto the back, you know, so if you did get that zombie, you can pull out those entrails, you know. But definitely a beastie blade, guys. I love this thing. It's so cool. It's just got that nasty look to it. So, you guys, if you're interested in, you know, John from JS Knife Works work, he is on YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook, so you can find JS Knife Works on there. Give him a look, man. He makes some killer blades, and he did a fantastic job making this bad boy for me. Let's get into some other choppers that are a little bit larger, but still super fun. We have the Apex from Work Tough Gear. Now, guys, I did reviews on almost all of these knives, and then this thing was just straight up fun. It's like this Bolo pirate machete heavy duty brush cutter. I mean, obviously, look how thick this is. I mean, this isn't a machete by any means, man, but this is, again, falls into that category. If you got some thick, heavy, you know, jungle brush, you know, big 2, 3, 4 inch round, like limbs coming off of bushes and stuff, this dang Apex is going to whack through that stuff very, very nicely. And, man, it just has that, akin. One of the things I love about knives, guys, is there's a cool factor to knives, right? There are knives that look super cool and are not functional, but then there are knives that are super cool looking and very functional. And that's what I love about all of these knives that I'm showing you right here, is I've tested all these knives out, and there is a lot of super cool factor to them, but also a lot of functionality. I would not hesitate to grab any one of these knives in a shit hit, you know, SHTIF, you know, whatever, crap hits the fan situation. I would, all of these knives I know I could depend on, and that's why I like showing them to you guys. But man, this Apex from Julio Diaz and Work Tough Gear is definitely a fun blade, man. I love it. You know, when I'm holding it, I'm just like, I'm thinking of Sinbad, you know, Sinbad and the Seven Seas and things like that. It's like this cool mix of Conan versus the pirate type stuff, you know, and I just dig it, man. I dig it. It's so much fun. But again, it's such a functional tool as well. If I can get it in the sheet there. Yeah, it's such a functional, heavy duty chopping blade, you know. And we can't not talk about choppers and talk about one of the kings of the chopping world, guys. The Tops knives. Hatchet. Look at this. Man, you know, if you got a big old brisket and you need that son of a gun cut right here, baby. Look at this. Big old... dude, the Hatchet is a monster chopper as well. I mean, you can come in there and just go to town, whacking through just about anything you can with this, and it's going to come through it, and it's going to destroy it, and you're going to walk away going, yeah, I love it. Actually, I would say that with almost anything. I've chopped with all of these, and man, it's something soothing and relaxing when you can kind of get outside. You get a big old branch, a 4x4, whatever, and you can just sit there and wow, go to town on it, dude. Just watch those chunks of wood flying out, and you're just like, yeah. And you know what? Hatchet is one of those blades, man. Leo Espinosa designed, you know, a king chopper in this bad boy. You know, I think it's hard to deny that this thing is a phenomenal tool for chopping and dispatching of zombies, you know. So you guys definitely check those out. Definitely worth looking into getting one of those, adding it to your collection. You know, I would honestly tell you guys, any of these blades that I'm showing you are worth adding to your collection for sure. There, you know, a lot of these knives I've bought with my own money, guys. I love them. I think they're awesome. You know, some of them have been gifted to me, but even if they hadn't been, I would have probably bought them anyway. So I'm not just blowing smoke up your guys', you know, booty holes, right? One thing I do want to point out here, a couple of outliers, is the old hatchets, right? So hatchets are fantastic tools, and I know I always get this on, you know, a bunch of us YouTubers get this when we're batoning with knives and doing this. We're always going to get that one guy, you should use a hatchet, use an axe, use the right tool for the job. I get it, dude. You're right. We should use the right tool for the job. But sometimes you don't always have the right tool for the job. That's the reality of it. Stuff happens. You get stuck somewhere, whatever. You didn't think you were going to be in that situation. You may not have a hatchet. Okay? You may not. You may need to use your damn knife to chop through the wood. Okay? We get it. We know. Don't be a dick. Sorry. I started to get off on a little rant there. That's actually one of the first times I've done that on this channel. Guys, when we baton, at least I'll speak for myself. When I'm batoning through wood and stuff like that on my channel for testing purposes, it's to show you guys if you had to do it, you could. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying if you had to, you could. Okay? If you have access to your hatchet and your axe and your silky saw and your chainsaw, by all means use that. But if you don't have access to it, I want you to know that you can depend on your knife to help you at least get through that situation and get a fire started or whatever the case may be. Okay? So there you go. PSA is over. Anyway, this is the War Hatchet from Frank Sausta over at FS Blades. Guys, this dude is awesome. He's out of Brooklyn, New York. He makes some really cool stuff. I got something else here I'm going to show you guys in a minute. This is my super fun one, right? But yeah, he made this axe. He makes a lot of really cool different things, and his pricing is pretty phenomenal for, you know, a lot of custom made stuff. He was on Forged in Fire, things like that. I met him a couple of years ago at Blade Show West, and super cool dude, man. And he's making some really cool stuff. So like, this is a really nice hatchet in the fact that it's got a nice broad head with a beard. You can do some hammering and stuff like that, crack open some coconuts. It's thin enough on the back edge here that you could do that, but still keeps the weight down a little bit. But yeah, this is a really good, fun little, just good hatchet to use. Definitely, if you're into hatchets and stuff, check out FS Blades. He makes some really cool stuff. Speaking of hatchets, we have another really cool one here. This is the Yukon Hawk from Tops Knives. This thing is super wicked as well. It's got that more traditional kind of Viking style head beard. You do have a little jimping on the back for hammering stuff in, and then you got this really cool grip here That's one called, it was called Secure Grip or Secure X, but it's got like this rubberized material mixed in with the G10, so it gives it like a tacky feel, but it's not a sticky feel, if that makes sense. Like when you get a hold of this, you got it. It's, your hands are sweaty, wet, or whatever. This is staying in your hands wherever you're chopping, right? And definitely a beast of a chopper. Check out my review on this. Definitely a good option, good truck hatchet to throw in. This also did come with a leather belt loop that you can put on your belt. This slides in there. So hatchets, things like that, again, right there, you got some good stuff right there. Let's get into some of the funner, I don't want to say funner, they're all fun, right? Check these out. If you're into like a little bit of a bigger blade, and we kind of got into it with the Poos on Predator, but look at this V44X from Work Tough Gear. Again, we're talking straight up clip point Bowie fun right here, guys. And I love clip point knives. I love Bowies. I think they're just fantastic. But man, this one, for its size, it's quick. Like, you come in here and do those quick little slap chops. Super tough knife. I cut through a freaking cow femur bone with this thing. I mean, I beat the tar out of this as well. If you follow Well Regulated, Reese, the designer, he's done a lot of crazy stuff with his V44X, you know, just showing how tough and badass they are. Definitely go check out his channel. I mean, he throws his like a throwing knife. I mean, this thing is awesome, man. And this gator grip, whatever, you know, this gator grip that Vic does over at Work Tough Gear. Look at it. I mean, this is badass, man. This thing is just very cool. Love the shape of it, love the style, love the choil. Like this is 100% badassery as well, right? And then if you want to get into something maybe it's just a little bit smaller but still just as badass, this is the Work Tough Gear Commander. Guys, this has a little bit more of a traditional shape, still got that clip point, a little bit on the smaller side, a little less assuming, but man, this thing is a powerhouse as well. I got a cool video using this attitude adjuster, busting open that coconut like it was a zombie skull. Stuff goes everywhere. Got a nice choil on it as well. But again, another one of those knives where it just, this screams to me like, carry me, you know. This has a design and a look to it that just appeals to me, but you're also getting a ton of performance, man. Vic does a great job with his edges on these blades over at Work Tough Gear, and this is definitely something worth looking at as a heavy duty, bigger zombie apocalypse blade. If all of these, like Jason, these are just, they're awesome, but they're entirely way too big for me. I couldn't see myself carrying those. I got you covered. We got a few, what I would call, they're large blades, but they're perfectly capable of EDCing these blades every day, okay? If you wanted to. And right here, again, we're sticking with the large. There are some smaller options, but these I like are really good utility / combat knives, if you will, right? So right here we have the Phobos Knives Tier 1 BC. Guys, this thing is a fantastic blade. It's super light, but it's thick. It's got a lot of beef to it still that you could baton, beat on this thing, chop with it. You could utilize it for food prep, you know, knife fighting, whatever you have to do with this thing. This is kind of this is a really good option, man. And this thing is super slick, magna cut steel. The grip on this thing is fantastic. It's got a nice shape, got a nice Kydex sheath with a belt loop. I mean, it's a very good package for, you know, EDC carry if you're going to EDC carry a larger blade. Another really great option in that category is the TCal Knives FMF Frogman Special. Again, you're getting another clip point Bowie style blade, but look at this thing. Very thin, very light, but yet this thing is strong and it is quick. I mean, this thing is, this is nasty fast, and AEBL still. I mean, it's going to have some corrosion resistance. This thing is going to put in some work for you. Again, food prep, zombie poking, wood crafting, all sorts of good things, man. This FMF is definitely worth looking at as well. TKL is an awesome company, man. These guys are making some great stuff. We can't talk about an apocalyptic event without talking about the Operator 7 from Tops Knives. And again, we're talking a chunk of steel that is going to take a beating, beating, and it's going to keep on working for you, right? This thing is 1070, I think it's 1075. It's one of the few blades that isn't 1095 from its tops, but I'll tell you what, man, this was made to go to battle. This was designed with, that's why it's called the Operator, right? Operator 7. You can take this, beat the crap out of fuel cans, steel cans, doors, whatever. You're going to be able to beat the tar out of this thing, and it's going to keep on trucking for you, right? It's going to be able to still process wood, do the batoning, splitting, you know, do all the cool ninja stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to keep on ticking, man, because it's Tops Knives Operator 7, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it does. It whoops ass. That's an ass whooper, right? So don't forget the Operator 7. Now, this one is super cool. You can get these from Black Rock Knives. Ken over there is a custom maker. He makes a lot of cool, he makes a lot of really cool stuff. But man, this one was one that I just really wanted. I love the World War I, World War II trench knife vibe, right? That double-edged dagger with the knuckles built into it. You know, we all know that thing was built with a single purpose in mind, to dispatch zombies, right? That's what it's for. Like, everything you do with this is going to do damage to that zombie. That's what it's intended for. And, you know, stuff's gone really bad, right? And you're having to fight for every single inch and yard that you can out there in the world, and the zombies and all this, and the marauders and the raiders and whatever. This is definitely something you're going to want to have on you, because when you pull this thing out, you got a hold of it. It's rock and roll time, baby. It is rock and roll time. Look at this bad boy. You got double edges. You got built-in knuckles. You got an attitude adjuster. I mean, when you put your hand in this thing, whatever you do, that zombie is not going to want to mess with you, okay? Because you don't even have to be a world-class, badass fighter. It would probably help, but think about this. Look at this design, right? You got double edges, front and back. You got the knuckle dusters. You got the pommel, the attitude adjuster. So if you pull this out, that zombie's coming, you're like, pop. You did damage. 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 I mean, no matter what you're doing, there's damage coming at that zombie, right? I'm not a knife fighter, guys. I don't claim to be. Never had any professional training, but in my mind, think about it. I could just be wildly, blindly swinging this thing and just doing whatever, and I'm doing damage to you some way, somehow, right? So think about that. So, you know, it's really bad. I mean, I understand. In my mind, I can understand why the soldiers that were in those trenches fighting for their lives, and you know, God bless all the soldiers that put their lives on the line for us. Thank you so much. You know, and you know, you watch some of these documentaries and you see the conditions that those guys in World War I were fighting in those trenches and stuff, and just the nastiness of it. You know, you can see why they needed tools like this to try to survive, because it was hell. It was hell on earth, right? And you know, again, God bless those guys. I mean, you know, they put their lives on the line for us. So I'm getting myself a little choked up here thinking about that. So again, though, that's why I kind of really wanted one of these type of knives in my collection. Is more, one, it's super cool looking, but two, it helps you, remind you of the sacrifices that a lot of men and women have made for us through the courses of the years, through the wars that have been fought. Whether those wars were necessary or not, politics aside, a lot of men and women put their lives on the line for us every day. And you know, this is, you know, knowing what this is meant for and what they had to probably do with something like this is a sobering reminder that we need to appreciate what we have and what we do in this world. And we you know, we all need to strive to be better people to honor those sacrifices that those people made. So take that for what you will. If you're still with us here, hopefully you heard that. So thank you. Anyway, I'll poke myself in the hand with an attitude judger. Black Rock Knives, guys. Go check out Ken's work. He's over on Instagram. I'm going to try to leave links for all of these guys, to at least so you can try to find them in the description below. But yeah, Ken over there is making a lot of really awesome stuff at Black Rock. So definitely go check it out. This is the Wyvern, by the way. And last but not least, guys, this is my piece de resistance, if you will. You want to talk about some straight up just fun, but functional, badass fun, guys. This is my my hog splitter, my Reaper's Razor XL. Frank over at FS Blades whipped this up for me. That crazy guy. Anyway, let's get that sheath off. Look at this. Ooh, this thing is nasty, wicked fun. Man, I got my review on this. I'm out in an orchard with some ripped out almond trees, and I'm wailing through 3, 4, 5 inch thick branches like they're nothing, guys. You could choke back on this sucker, be like Beirut, hey, better, swing, and there goes that zombie, right? Man, this thing is, so I wanted a hog splitter. I think it's cool. It was a cool tool that's been used, for a long time in the old butcher shops, right? You got this giant flat top cleaver, but I wanted something a little different, and I didn't want just a flat top cleaver. I wanted something that had a point to it as well. And so if you think about it, this is kind of like a sack style hog cleaver, right? We got this kind of cut off here like a sack style, but kind of like the Storm Vector. Gives it a really nice nasty tip for if you had to come in and pierce into something. But man, we still got this big long blade to whack through that hog when we're about to barbecue, you know what I mean? And with this handle, you can come up in here and do some finer work, or you can really get in and get some power hits in, swing it back. You can really just like, hey, stay away from me. But look I can one hand this too. And now granted, it's still heavy, but I can still kind of move it around pretty decently with one hand. Obviously 2 hands is better, but this is still light enough that it's huge, but it's still fairly light for its size, because if you look at how thin the handles and stuff are, but they still feel really good. One of the things I originally thought in my head when I first got it, I was like, man, this is cool. Man, this is probably going to vibrate the crap out of my hand when I'm chopping with it. And I was wrong. I mean, I was wailing on that wood, and even with these thinner handle scales, this thing did not vibrate or hurt my hands as I was chopping with it at all. So definitely a fun, cool piece of kit, man. And this is just one of those knives where, like, if you're running around with this thing, I doubt you pull this out, those zombies are probably going to be like, we'll go on to that dude over there. This is just not something that you want to toy with, right? But it's super cool. And again, like I said, it's got a nice enough weight to where, I feel like you could carry this around. You definitely would have to lose, I wouldn't say you're going to carry this and the Kumakaje and the Apex all around at the same time. You're going to have to kind of pick and choose. But definitely, if you're in a group of people, this would be something I think you would definitely want to, at least one person carrying in the group, because this is also going to allow you, let's say you come across some fruit trees and the fruit's a little high, but obviously you don't want to take unnecessary risk in a shit hits the fan situation, climb a tree, fall down, sprain your ankle, now you're really screwed. Well, you can utilize this to kind of get up there and chop those higher branches and get maybe that fruit down and things like that. So, but definitely a fun piece of kit, man. This Reaper Razor XL. Definitely go check out my review on this, guys. You can just see me going ham wild on some trees with this bad boy, and it just obliterates those branches, man. So Frank over at FS Blades did a fantastic job with this Reaper's Razor XL. Well, that's going to kind of sum up my kind of fun little Sunday video here, just talking about a bunch of blades, kind of zombie apocalypse. Yeah, we delved into a few different little realms, right? So I just thought it would be a fun video to do on this Sunday. Guys, if you're going to Blade Show Atlanta, go check out all of the makers that you want to see, and check out what zombie blades you might want to get, you know what I mean? And if you see me running around the show, I'll be wearing straight edge knife stickers. Stop me and say hi, man. I would greatly appreciate it. I'd love to meet a bunch of you if you guys are subscribers to my channel. Even if you're not and you just recognize me, say hi. I'd appreciate it. I might have a sticker for you or something. So, but yeah, June 6th, 7th, 8th out there at Cobb Galleria in Atlanta. definitely stop by. Go check out all the cool stuff. Man, I think there's almost 950 knife maker brands that are going to be there. It's going to be ridiculously good time. And stay tuned, guys. If you're not following my channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. Hit that bell notification thing, right? Because I'm going to be posting a ton of videos from Blade Show Atlanta 2025, and you don't want to miss those, right? So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you had fun on this video. I know I did. And we'll see you on the next one. Stay safe. Stay sharp.